Hello and welcome back to the channel, where we are back in the most beautiful little ladybug on a glorious day in Scotland, I have to say. Do you think spring has actually sprung? I do hope so, and I hope that is going to be as nice as this on the North Coast 500 in a month's time. So one of the most asked questions that I have is regarding the toilet situation. How do I deal with needing the toilet in such a little microcamper like Ladybug? There's actually loads of options. So I'm going to show you what those options are. So one of the easiest ways that you can alleviate any kind of issues with not having a toilet or shower facilities in your microcamper is to always use campsites. That's the easiest solution, and I probably will use campsites on most occasions when I'm in Ladybug, but there is a odd occasion where you just want to do a bit of off-grid camping. So how do you cope, especially as a woman? What are your options? So I did quite a lot of research into this because it is an important factor, having somewhere that you can go in an emergency if you are not on a campsite. So I looked into all the different things that you could get. I did actually have a porta potty when I bought Ladybug, but I think I've said in a previous video it was too big and bulky, using too much room, so that was the first thing that was out of here when I brought it back up from Manchester. So the other options were to get a smaller porta potty. I think there is one slightly smaller that you can get, but again it's just going to be big and bulky, and if for the majority of the time I'm going to be on campsites, why do I want to use up all that precious storage space to hold something that I'm only going to really need in an emergency situation? So I looked into pop-up toilets and came across the Elio one, which folds nice and flat but also has a cushioned toilet seat, so can be used quite comfortably for emergencies. Now it comes with bags which you can purchase more of as and when you need them, and it comes with like a special gel that congeals everything, so you can just like tie up the bag and dispose of the matter as you would do with dog poop. So that was the first thing that I purchased. But then I started to realise that the majority of the time I'm probably only going to need to go for a wee. So I came across the urinals, and you can get like a multi-sex one. So it's for male and female, and they are amazing. Even if you're not a camper and you're out, I'm sure that like truck drivers and things must have these because they're brilliant. So you just use them when you need them, and then you just can pop them into a discreet bag, and when you get to public toilets, or when you get to a public toilet, you can just dispose of it, and as you would do normally, and wash it out. Hey presto. So I've used that a couple of times when I've been in Ladybug, and I have to say that that is probably the best option. Just another thing to add as well is when you do use the portable urinal and you're using a bit like of toilet paper, you can just pop that in to the urinal as well and then just dispose of it. Normally it just disintegrates, just the same as it does like in a chemical toilet. So it just disintegrates, and you can just flush that down the toilet and wash it out when you're finished. And if you don't want to shell out 20 quid for a portable urinal, then I have seen a couple of Facebook sites saying that you can use a Lenore bottle as a woman and a male, I guess. So apparently it's just like the perfect size. So an old Lenore or Comfort bottle, and you can use that the same way as you can a urinal. But my top tip, if you're camping in your microcamper, your camper van or a tent, is get one of these bad boys, because trust me, when you need to go, this works. So another thing that you could probably do as well, if you don't want to shell out, I think my pop-up toilet was around about £30. So if you didn't want to shell that out for something that you're barely going to use, I do have like a little ottoman footrest that I keep pots and pans and things in it. And you know, it's pretty much the same thing. So you could pop a bag in that with a bit of kitty litter and use that as a pop-up toilet in an emergency as well. So you can basically, you could make something quite easily, even like a pop-up bucket, as long as it can hold your weight, or if you're able to just like squat or hover, then why shell out all that kind of money when you could just make something yourself? So, I mean, I just wanted something that had like a bit more flexibility, that could fold flat, so I wasn't using up loads of space, and also something that was like a little bit cushioned and comfortable if I did need to use it. And lastly, and I guess this applies more to guys than us girls, you could go outside in nature. I know that a lot of people who camp or go hiking take like a little spade with them. I mean, that ain't for this girl, but it is an option. We are getting closer and closer to my solo trip around the North Coast 500. I am going to obviously have to have things booked now, because I think there's certain things that are changing regarding being able to wild camp or be off-grid camping, which I didn't really want to do anyway. So I was always really going to be booking campsites around the whole 7-day trip. So we're about 3.5 weeks away from doing it, so everything's ready. I just have a few more trips that are planned. People have asked me why I am always travelling, not just in Ladybug. Now it is a special birthday this year. I am going to be hitting my half century in December, so the birthday present to myself is to try to travel to 12 countries, new countries if possible, as many as I possibly can. So that's why I'm trying to go away abroad on little trips at least once a month. So there'll always be a sprinkling of that within this channel, but predominantly we're going to be in Ladybug. So we have got lots of trips organised for her, and I can't wait to get out and share all these adventures with you. So thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't already, why not hit that button? And we'll see you again next time for a brand new video. Cheerio!